Welcome to MMO Grinder Backtrack, where I take a look at games I've reviewed previously to check out what's new. Today in November of 2013, I'll be revisiting Vindictus, the dungeon-crawling 3D action MMO published by Nexon and known elsewhere as Mabinogi Heroes, that I had reviewed in episode 25. It wasn't long after my video that a few revisions were made, and some were as recent as last year, so let's get in taking a look at what's readily apparent. The character selection when creating a new character got a bit of a rework, and now is a fully animated piece instead of a set of static images, but the introductory videos for each character are still available. Joining the group of Lan, Fiona, Evie, and Karok are the archer Kai, who wields a bow and arrow, or later a crossbow, and Vela, another twin sword wielder like Lan, but far from a distaff counterpart, as Vela seems to play a lot more like I thought Lan would, performing even faster melee attacks with the swords, and her alternate weapon, the chain blades, have a lot of potential with control, far wider range of attacks, at the sacrifice of downtime after attacking, leaving her more vulnerable than if she was just using her sword set. It also seems that access to your alternate weapon set has been brought down to level 12, and trying out characters' alternate playstyle is a lot more accessible, giving you more time to play around with the differing abilities. Out of the two new characters, Vela is my unquestionable favorite, and might actually be my favorite out of everyone in the game. Well, except for maybe her, but she's not a playable character, unfortunately. Vindictus' upgrade to Season 2 introduced a whole new area, a jungle tropical-styled area with the hub city of Melina. You'll be given a quest to head to Melina around the time you finish the first set of quests in the first dungeon area. Reaching Melina requires you to take a boat that will require you to either wait up to 5 minutes or pay 2,000 gold to head there immediately. And why, yes, some of the quests do make you go back and forth between the two areas. The new dungeons in this area don't behave in the exact same manner the old ones do, and even the town system works differently, with the town NPCs showing up as you stand at the door, instead of having to enter a static screen like you would in the original towns. Differing also from the main area is the way the dungeons are started, with quest NPCs inside the area, as well as being able to select the difficulty by a block of levels, and not just being able to enter an area by your level only. You can even choose the bosses that you wish to face. Yes, multiple bosses. The dungeons themselves even let you take multiple paths instead of just heading through a direct path right to the end goal. One of the more common complaints I get about the Vindictus review had nothing to do with the review's content itself, but focused entirely on the fact that I said the game was difficult to run. Hell, I'm still getting these stupid comments, and that review was well over a year ago. Well, it was difficult. I was running a very low-end 2 gig processor at the time, and even with the graphics card I had, it did nothing to help the strain on the aged processor. Source engine or not, it didn't run well. As you should be able to see here, it runs far better now, but I think a lot of people just don't understand how optimization works. Just because you can run one game well doesn't mean that they all will. A game's age or engine has nothing to do with it, and it depends on many aspects of your PC, including your hardware and software conflicts. It might just not like your video card or your operating system, and just buy a new one is not a viable option for a lot of people. That addressed, this game is still very poorly optimized. I noticed hiccups constantly, and to make matters worse, the game will crash if you mouse over a certain portion of your mailbox. The mailbox will crash the game. Basically, just because you personally might not be having problems with the game, it doesn't mean that no one is. Now that I can run it decently, and I found a character more suited to my playstyle, I can definitely see myself playing this a bit more. The game's flow seems a bit more polished now, and the soundtrack remains some of the most amazing music I've heard in any game. And it's overall still a lot of fun, if you just don't mind the nature of the genre. I'll be sure to check back with this game and others in more episodes of MMO Grinder Backtrack. Oh yeah, there's still too much quest walking and text crawling to get to the next bit of action pieces, you still grind out the same general looking areas repeatedly, and Nexon keeps making odd decisions like adding pervy sounding titles and making you wait a week before you can delete anyone. Some things never change.